What's happening, guys, and welcome to the Galactic Explorers Podcast. This is episode 44. And as always, as it has been for the past, I don't know, probably going on nearly 20 episodes now, Jeff.
Oh, yeah. It's been quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
It goes by fast, man.
We have Jeff. As always, how are you doing, sir?
Not bad. How are you?
I am very well. I'm tired, but I'm very well. I want to do a little bit of housekeeping first.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome. So, we have a new show coming out on Friday. So, we're currently recording this on Monday the 6th. This podcast will go out on Wednesday, which will be the 8th. So, it's Tuesday, yes, 8th. And then on Friday, which would be the 10th, we have a new show coming out called the Early Access Show. This is my little pet project because I am a massive fan of indie games and how they're getting developed and everything like that. And I personally don't feel like there's a big enough push for indie games out there. Like, obviously, you get places like IGN, who will obviously, being a big company, their main focus is on AAA games or, you know, of that stature. Or once in a while, you'll get a big indie game come through, but it does extremely well. But yes, the Early Access Show will be a comprehensive overview of one game per episode, telling you all about it. But I worked fairly hard on it. I think it took me about 5 days of doing all the design, recording the audio, editing it, and all that kind of stuff.
I'm actually excited to see this. So
I can give you an early viewing if you want, or you can wait until Friday. It's entirely up to you. It's entirely up to you. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get red carpet and everything.
Early access, boys, behind the scenes.
It is. So I'm nervous, but I'm guessing, you know, when you're nervous, it shows that you care. So, but yes, let's get on to the normal goings back, because we're what, nearly 3 weeks. Has it been 2 weeks since the release, or has it been 3 weeks since Next came out? It's been 3 weeks.
3 weeks, I think so. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It's been at least 2. So how about that? I'll go with
2 weeks since Next. So it's kind of died down the whole, obviously, news front in No Man's Sky. So obviously we'll still retain the same setup. We always talk about No Man's Sky first, and then we'll go on to other things after that.
Hey, one thing really quick. I want to mention that we have 46 subscribers now.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the subscribers have been going up as of recently, which is a good thing.
Indeed. I think what's scary is, because you probably won't know this, because obviously I do all the analytics for the audio podcast version.
Mm-hmm.
We have a current listener numbers of over 600.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
So, you know, I mean, if you look at our viewership on YouTube, yes, obviously we don't have that many subscribers. Yes, we don't have that many viewers. But if you go by how many people view our videos compared to subscribers, technically we've got nearly on almost 100% viewership figures. So wow. we tend to have about 40 people, just over 40 people view each video. So, you know, it's almost 100% retention rate, so to speak. Obviously, as channels get bigger, they tend to drop off. I think usually when you get like a larger subscriber count, it tends to be about a 10% of your viewership is kept to your subscriber count.
Right.
So, but yes, thank you for the support as always. 46 subscribers and counting. Getting there slowly. Obviously, 600 listeners for each episode, roughly, on both iTunes and Google Play Music.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, so it's always one of those things that I check up maybe once every so often, because I only tend to go on the analytics page when I'm uploading the audio files to the website.
I really wish they would let you put comments on the iTunes, like on the videos and stuff. Like, I wish there was like a comment section in that whole thing.
I know you can leave a rating for them. Remember,
Yeah,
guys, leave a rating after you listen to the audio versions of the podcast. That would be helpful. I thought you could leave a review or something, maybe. Maybe not a comment section, but maybe a review section. So maybe when you do leave your rating, and then I think you can leave a comment, perhaps on the rating. I wouldn't know because I don't think anyone's actually ever commented on our audio podcasts. We've just got 600 people who listen to it, and that's it.
Damn.
Yeah, leave some comments, guys, or reviews or whatever. Be helpful because you get more reviews. Your podcast actually goes on their thingy boards. What do you call them? Ranking boards. So, yeah. And obviously, if you're high up on the rankings, you tend to get more listeners and such. So, who knows? So, yes. So, it has been 2 weeks since the release of Next. I want to know, because we were expecting Kings on. I don't know if he's disappeared or what. I do turn off all my Facebook stuff when we're recording because phones vibrating, computer making noises when Facebook sends messages, etc. So yeah, I want to know, as of the past 2 weeks, what has been your favourite part or memory that you've had from Next since launch? What has been that amazing whoa moment? Seeing your first Rings planet.
I mean, that was cool. I mean, well, don't forget, when I play on Xbox too.
Okay,
and my first planet on Xbox was a ring planet, which was awesome.
Nice.
So I started that whole game on Xbox the very best way I probably could have. Have it
you played that first as well, didn't you? You downloaded it before.
Yeah. Actually, yep. I played on Xbox a couple hours before it was live on PlayStation. So that was how I got into Next. I kind of learned a couple things quick before the update happened, and I got to get back into the Xbox community, I guess. I've been really busy on my PlayStation account. I've been working my ass off trying to get shit back together and get upgraded and everything that.
Have you just carried on your save from on the PlayStation? You haven't started a new one either?
No, just because I've been reading that the portal glyphs are still glitched, and
right, okay.
I don't want to go through that again.
Right.
You don't need portal glyphs to play a game or to start over or whatever, but those are such a pain in the ass to get.
Right.
And you would think that with the space stations being bigger, that it would be easier to find travelers at space stations. But the ratio of you finding them at space stations is just the same as it was pre-Next. It's very random.
It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Because obviously they're not as a common species as the other three.
Right.
You would have thought. So it kind of makes more... I think it's a bit more realistic in that manner. Instead of having... How many aliens was there on a space station beforehand? Maybe
4 or 5 or something like that. Maybe scattered about. I mean, there wasn't really that much. But I mean, you would think that they'd just by default there would be more, but it's not.
But then again, now you got about 20 aliens on each space station, haven't you? And if you just see one of these travelers within all those spaces, I think it stands out more.
Right.
It's a bit more. It feels a bit more special finding them.
No, I get it. I get it. Yeah. It's just that I don't know, they got to fix the portal glyph glitch. Right. There's still a lot of bugs in this game, man. It's only been up for a couple weeks, so they fixed a lot. I want to give them credit for that.
And there's still only 15 of them as well, aren't there?
Yeah,
and they're trying to fix it over 3. Obviously 2 consoles and obviously the PC.
Right. See, I don't know how it runs on other consoles. I don't know how I haven't heard anybody really complain about Xbox. I don't know. I'm not in tune with the Xbox community, so there might be stuff going on there. I just know from my point of view with PlayStation, it's hit or miss. I have nights where I have no crashes whatsoever, and then just last night I went down to a planet and I just went to go off the planet and I was like infinitely stuck in a crash loop.
Yeah. Yeah, I was the same, yeah.
And it just took me forever to get off of that planet. I just warped out of the system, and like it just seems like that maybe certain planets are glitched, and that's the reason why you crash, or I don't know. Maybe. I haven't figured it out.
The thing is with the Xbox version, it might be because obviously it's... Well, to begin with, on the disc version, it's already installed on the disc, isn't it? It's already part of the... It wasn't the base game of No Man's Sky, or at least up to Atlas Rises. It already had thing on it, so maybe because it was a whole brand new build altogether put into one, it might have had less problems anyway. Whereas obviously they've had to implement the update into the PlayStation version, perhaps, and the PC version. I don't know what are people mean complaining about the PC version as well, or are the bugs kind of ironed out a bit more quickly?
I haven't touched PC in a long time, so right. my computer is like not ancient. Yeah, it's not in the right state to be playing that game on. So I've heard people that have like really high quality rigs still have issues with frame drops and stuff like that on PC. So
right, I see. Yeah, I don't think I've had like one particular moment.
Oh yeah, I didn't even get into that. Really quick, I think the thing that hits me the most, and it was something I always loved in the beginning before pre-next, was caves. Caves seem so much better now. They're not just like an open thing. Like, dude, I've seen pictures of people flying spaceships through caves, and I seen this one where this guy dropped down like so deep, like into a cave, and I was like, wow, like that's so freaking cool. Like the caves seem to be a lot better.
Also, I've noticed they're not as sporadic as they used to be either. Not sporadic. They're not as like everywhere. Like they're not everywhere like they used to be. Like I think in my save that I've played. I mean, obviously I haven't played like hours and hours and hours as we talked about earlier. But like I think I played maybe about between 10 and 15 hours. And in that time, I don't think I've come across a cave yet.
Oh, really?
On any planet or in any system or anything. So it seems to me like, because I was trying to. I do lie. I've only come across like the old ones, like like a bit indented into the side of a hill, but not like an actual cave.
No, I look for those. I mean, I go out and I really look.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, there might not be as. You might have to just dig down and try and find them or something randomly, but I haven't actually come across like a massive cave or anything yet. I think it's not like a moment. I think it was like a pleasant surprise was like the whole animal interaction thing, like watching them. They actually go out hunting now.
Yeah,
So, and it's a lot more obvious than like the whole migration. It looks like there is some kind of like migration feature into it where the animals are grouped together and then they tend to just wander off.
Yeah, the animal like AI is a lot better.
Yeah,
that's really cool. It's really, I mean, because sometimes you still get like random shit. But they sometimes do group up together and they do kind of walk and they run away together. And that's really cool. I mean, that was something that was in the E3 trailer.
Yeah,
the animals kind of like jet with each other and stuff. And
the variety of animals from the get-go as well is completely changed. Like there's a bigger variety of animals.
The size of the animals, dude. I seen this one. It was absolutely huge, man. I don't even know what the measurement was because I killed it before I could even like measure it. But I mean, it was so huge. Like I took I have a screenshot of myself standing next to it after I killed it, and you could barely see my character.
Oh no!
You know, like that's I was like, it was huge. It was really, really big.
That's scary. But yeah, the whole animal interaction thing I think is quite nice to see.
I'm also go ahead.
Every time you used to start a new game before, you always used to start on planets where they always had the cat head monsters with like a really small cat head, but then they used to have like a huge body or other way around.
Mm-hmm.
And like the insect looking things always used to look the same, and the jellies, like I call them like the jelly bean monsters.
Yeah.
They always just look the same, but now like there's so much more variety, and I don't know if they've altered the code so it gives more, or they've added actually new parts in. Something, but it's a nice pleasant surprise. One thing that is annoying me though, and a constant thing, is the whole trying to get your base back from your previous pre-next update.
I haven't even done that yet.
I just want it back because of how much effort I put into building it to begin with. Yeah.
The only thing I have at that base is just my farm, and I already made enough money before, and I made some money after where I don't even I have over 1 billion credits right now.
See, I haven't got nearly half of that. I don't even think I've got 10 million.
Oh my god!
Yeah, like I said, I haven't played it for 5 days.
Right.
So I was doing the early access episode. But yeah, I've been on a bit of a football manager stint at the minute. I was like, I've got this one season. I've had this one season for the past 2 months, and I've just not. I could not be bothered to finish it. And then past 3 or 4 days, I've been like, oh, I'm gonna just stick this on and just finish the season off. So, but yeah, so I need to start playing again. I don't know. It's just, I think I might have burned myself out a little bit just before next by playing it so much. And then I've got to realise the whole base thing was not scrapped, but it deleted my base, and now you've got to try and find a wild, one of these base computers in the wild to rebuild your base. I'm like,
yeah,
kind of thing.
I think they might have fixed it where you can actually scan for an actual base now, so you can get your thing back. So it's a lot easier now. When it first came out, it was a lot harder.
Yeah, people say you start to use those navigation chip things, didn't you?
Yeah.
But it just wasn't coming up with. There was no option to find one or anything. Right. Or you just had to press one of the. I don't know if it was the habitable base one or something. And just look yourself upon one of the things. So I don't know.
Yeah, I've been spending so much time. One thing I don't like so far is that it's maybe it's the way it should be, but it's a lot harder to find S-class ships. Right. I spent probably about a good 20 hours over the past couple of days, trying to find an S-class hauler. Right. I finally found one late last night, around 11 or 12 o'clock, and I felt great after I found it. But I'm finding more exotic ships than I am just regular S-class freighters or fighters. I was it shouldn't be that way. It should be easier to find just regular S-class ships than it is to find the exotics. But I'm finding exotics way easier now than finding just S-class. I want a new exotic. I want a new S-class fighter ship. Yeah. And I'm not talking I want a fully slot one. I found one that was half of the slots. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for a max slot.
Yeah.
S-class.
They're hard to come across, aren't they? Because obviously it's with them changing the whole class system for the ships in the Atlas Risers.
Yeah, I think so.
Usually fighter ships have less cargo space than
their max is 38.
Yeah. So obviously it's a bit. I've got an A-class fighter, and I think I've got maybe 22 slots, and that's the most I've seen so far, I think, for a fighter. What would be cool to see is obviously, on the multiplayer page on the options, you can see there's 16 slots in the multiplayer page. I don't know if that's going to be because in the future they're going to add obviously the ability to have 16 players in a game at once. But it'd be cool to see people teaming up to do trade missions, and what two of you will be flying haulers, and then the other two will be flying fighters, whatever, and protecting them and stuff. So cool to see if that kind of stuff happens. But you know,
I'm waiting for competitions.
Right.
I'm waiting for. I know that Ivy Mike and Gaming Mike, those guys do the survival, what's that? Permadeath missions where they see how long they can last against each other. Like, I'm waiting for someone to come up with like PvP, like fighting, like a deathmatch type of thing, like 2 versus 2, or somebody doing like a ship duel, like a ship competition. You know, like, I know it's only 4 people. You can have like 2 teams of 2 or whatever. But even if you did like,
well, not 4v4, like, you know,
well, the most
every man for themselves. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true. Obviously, the maximum is still only 4 that you could see at one time. But I mean, you're right. You can have like solo duels. You can have 2v2, or you can just have everybody for themselves.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for those videos to start popping up. I hope someone does it soon. If I had a better streaming setup, like, I would start doing it. But I just my computer's not set up for this. Like, I'm behind.
I mean, we could do it together. I mean, if you like hosted it on the thing and I could record it, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, that kind of stuff. I mean,
I'm saying this right now, and like, I know someone's going to take the idea and run with it. And then someone else is going to start a whole series on it, and I'm going to be sitting here thinking, like, bastard, you know?
Everyone tends to copy each other, don't they? There's no original ideas anymore, let's be fair, so...
Right.
If someone else has done it... You know, if you thought of it first, the likelihood of someone else has done it before you is...
Right.
You know, massive, but... No, that would be cool, like a kind of like... Not like a fight club, but like a gladiator kind of thing. That's what we need to build, like an amphitheater.
Or an actual cage. Like, I seen someone build an arena,
right?
With that looks just like what the hell is that stupid game? The one with the cars. You play soccer with the cars. Why am I blanking out right now?
No, you made me blank now. I'm gonna have to find it. My friend plays it constantly.
Rocket League.
Rocket League, yeah.
Yeah, so I seen someone actually make a full size arena where the exocraft can go onto it, and like they found one of those stupid balls. I thought they were gone, but they're back. But they brought one of the balls to the arena, and they actually were playing.
That's crazy.
Rocket League with the cars and shit, and I was like, wow, like, that's cool as hell. So like, even if you did like a cage match where like people could only just go in and you could just only go so far, and you had to fight each other with your player models or stuff like that. Like, that would be so freaking cool, man. I'll tell you what, I'll be one of the first ones to sign up for that shit. Dude, I spent so much time, like, upgrading my multi-tool. Oh my god, man. I'd feel sorry for somebody that would have picked against me, because, like, not only is my multi-tool set up, my player model inventory or whatever, it's totally stacked, man.
Oh, God.
I mean, like, I would love to go up against somebody, like, the damage my multi-tool can put out and how much damage my player model can take is just so like unfair, powerful. But I mean, I'm sure not the only one out there that has it. So I mean, I brag about it and everything, but I mean, I'm sure there's other people out there that have. I've been sharing all my multi-tool setups with this guy, Law of Evolution. I'm not sure if you've ever seen his stream.
Right.
Shout out to him because I loved watching his stream. He loves getting into the whole multi-tool setups and the ship setups, how you slot everything. Like, he's really into that, and like, I like it too. So me and him have been sharing pictures back and forth, like, well, hey, if you do this right here, and what's this module there doing, you know, and like trying to perfect like our setups, and like, we're both kind of around like the same area, and like, dude, if me and him like went like a 2v2 against somebody else, like, oh my god, dude, like, we'd never lose.
Well, we might have to look into doing something like that. Okay, so obviously with what the game is now in its current state, obviously bugs aside and stuff, looking into the future, what new features would you like to see added into the game? Nothing multiplayer related, or if it is a multiplayer mode or like games added in for multiplayer purposes.
Crap.
What new features would you like to see added into the game?
More character models. No, I hope that they do something.
See, the one thing about the whole multiplayer character thing, like being able to change your appearance, like why wasn't that the option when you first started the game?
I know.
I know it kind of blends into the whole fact, like you're in a simulation, so that's why you're able to change your appearance.
Like, I play primarily almost always in third person now.
Right.
I just like it. It's just really cool, and it's
yeah.
You know what's a really cool thing too is that at any point in time you can change your character model. Like you're not tied down to that. So
and it doesn't cost you to change it either.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost you anything to change it. That's awesome. I'm so happy they did that because it would be a real drag if you could only pick it one time, or if they cost you like nanites or something to change it. That would be a big drag. I think a big thing now that you can build underwater bases is they need an underwater craft.
Yeah.
More than ever since now that you can build a base underwater, they need an underwater jet ski or something along those lines, an exocraft or something to get around in the water. I'm surprised it didn't come with this patch. I'm hoping it will come with the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they expand upon the freighter missions and how you control your individual frigates.
Right.
I wish that they allow you to take an individual frigate down to a planet, because you can land your ship on it.
Yeah.
I wish that they allow you to take that down with you, so you didn't have to have. So, because like when you park your freighter above a planet, it never goes to the surface. Like, I wish that they would allow you to, because the frigates are much smaller, so there's a good opportunity for them to be like, okay, here, like, take this down to the ship or down to the surface, and you can keep your thing there, and maybe even put like a platform to like load up an exocraft or something like that, and like use that to go down to the surface, and you could park it somewhere. Like something like that would be really, really cool. I think they got a good foundation there with those frigates and stuff, and I think they can really expand upon that.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, they hit a lot of things that I wanted. I'm sure they could come up with a bunch of other stuff. Trust me, some of the stuff that came out with this update, like I never even thought of, but since I have it, like
the whole treasure hunting thing. I never thought of like to add the treasure hunting thing, but it makes perfect sense with the whole like ancient ruins and stuff. Yeah,
they really did good on using that. Like I said, they added some stuff that I never even thought about or even wanted to have, and it's like if they take it away now, like I'll miss it because you know what I'm saying. Like it's really cool. So they're the developers. They have an idea of mind. I can just say it's just so many things. Like I'm basing off of what I have now, not necessarily what I want in the future. I just. Like, the things that I'm all going off of is just ways to improve what we have right now.
Yeah.
I really wish that they would allow, like, planets to rotate, where they're not around, like, not necessarily around a sun, but just their planets rotating in general.
Yeah.
I think that's something that a lot of people have asked for that is much needed. That's about it. I wish they toned down like the peaceful planets, like the really tropical planets and stuff. Like I wish they get rid of like every single one I go to is there's always an elemental danger there, even though if it says completely peaceful. There's every once in a while you'll have like a superheated rainstorm, and it's just like if it's a tropical planet or if it says that the weather's. I went on one that actually said calm weather, and I still had a superheated rainstorm. Like, if the weather is perfect or whatever, there shouldn't be, out of nowhere, a temperature increase of, like, 150 degrees and, like, superheated rain. You know? So, like, I wish there was more planets that were legit peaceful. But I mean, other than that, dude, like I'm pretty satisfied with Next. My biggest thing I talked about last time, and I'm really bummed about the multiplayer. But I mean, as days go on, I guess I drop it more and more, which I shouldn't. I should be on it because it's something that I think a lot of people wanted, and we didn't get it. But let's see what happens with the next couple of updates. Like maybe they'll expand it. Like I'll be happy with 16, even if they give us.
It might not even wait until an actual update. It might just be, a month or two down the line. It might just say, here's a patch that unlocks, 8-player multiplayer, and then, maybe 16 patch. It doesn't seem like it's a thing to add unless they go straight to 16 in the next big update or whatever.
And I guess like not only like just the like the number of players you can see. I hope they do something where if you run into another player, it automatically syncs you into their party, or do something so that you see that player. I know that I know a random person can join your party through the selection screen. I understand that, and you can see their character model. But running into a completely random player just out of happen chance, like, yeah, that's still an orb. Like, that needs to get fixed. Like, there's no reason why, if you run across a player, like, you shouldn't be able to see another player model, as long as, like, your party's not full or whatever. That kind of ruins, I don't know, it kind of ruins a little bit of the experience in my mind. But what are the odds of running into a random player? Like, it's only happened to me once since next
you probably, like, not forget about it, but it will definitely not be the first thing in your mind whenever you turn the game on, is it? So
no, not at all. So it's not like not the biggest thing, but it does. For something that special, it should be special. It shouldn't be an orb, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I'm happy with what we have. I'm done complaining about the things that are bad.
I think with the whole thing of like running into someone being like random is being special now. I think it's kind of taken away with multiplayer now, because like you said, anyone can join the game.
Mm-hmm.
So like, although obviously it is still it's still unlikely for you to run into just a complete randomer, even in orb form. I think it still kind of takes the whole thing away with the multiplayer aspect, because obviously, like I said, anyone can just join your game. They'll be up in space above you, and then they'll just fly down and find you. But no, I get that. I think this one isn't specifically like a gameplay feature, but I just want the aliens to move.
Yeah. I was going to mention that before when we were talking about the space stations. I was going to make a comment about how the aliens just still stand there. But
and the random chairs in like on the trading platforms. When you go down on one of the trading platforms and you go around, and there's about 8 rows of chairs, about 10 chairs long, but then there's a random chair with an alien sat on it. It's like, okay, why did you add these chairs here then if you're just going to put an alien on a random chair prop? But yeah, that's kind of like the whole Ring of Planets thing, though, isn't it? It's just it's not a gameplay feature, but it's just a feature to increase the immersion of playing the game. I think gameplay wise, I really want customization for like the outside of your ships, so you can change the color of your ships. Maybe obviously not like your frigates and stuff, because obviously like it will cost a lot more money to like paint them and stuff. But like definitely your like your normal spaceships. As well, like you said, like frigates being able to land on the planet, or at least maybe even if they downgrade to another ship style where it's it's a bigger ship than your normal ship, but it's smaller than the frigate. So you can land on planets that way or something. But yeah, I don't think there's much really. I'd like to add. I'd really appreciate if they stopped messing around with the planets when they do an update. Because some people spend like 500, 600 plus hours in one update, and then they drop a new update, and like this one, all the planets were messed up.
But I just think that's like, I think they have to do that when.
Oh yeah, I can understand. It's probably something that they can't help.
Right.
Happen.
It's just when they change the planet terrain generation or whatever, like that's just something that always happens. So I mean,
it's just annoying kind of thing. It's just like you said, like some people have played the same save all the way throughout, and I can't imagine how annoying it can be for them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just little small. It's not even gameplay features really. It's just life improvement things, I suppose. But yeah. Okay then. So we're doing No Man's Sky for now. For this episode. I want to move on to some information about our favourite joke on the Xbox, and that is Crackdown 3. I think it is the kind of the running joke of it's the AAA version of No Man's Sky. nobody knows when it's going to come out. Everyone's expecting for it, and then nothing happens. But yes, Sumo Digital have announced that Crackdown 3 is pretty much done now, and
I won't believe it. I won't believe it until it's on my console.
Well, yeah, that is true. But on the IGN article anyway, obviously, trust IGN if you like, if not. But they're pretty much using the delay to 2019 to polish the game off. Which I can't imagine is a bad thing. I mean, we've still got 4 months left of this year. Damn, 4 months? Jesus. Where's the time gone? But yeah, so do you remember when it said in 2019 when it was coming out? Was it Easter time or was it before then?
I don't remember.
Yeah. But either way, yes, they're saying that it's pretty much done, and that they're just using that extended time to polish the game off. I mean, considering how
they've been polishing the game off for years. I mean, I don't believe it. Like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's like Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't believe it. Like, until I see it on a console and like it gets put out, like I'm not believing it anymore. Like I've been hearing about Crackdown 3 for years and years now, and it just keeps on getting delayed, and I hear it's almost done, and all of a sudden it's another year delayed, and whatever, man. I don't know.
I mean, I don't get me wrong, I liked Crackdown, like the first one. I don't think I played the second one, or if I did, I didn't play it for very long. I played the first one. My problem with Crackdown is the same problem that I have with what's it, the GTA ripoff. Saints Row.
Oh yeah, that game, man.
I have the opposite problem with it though. So in Crackdown, I enjoy the main missions and like the whole jumping, collecting all the orbs. Sorry, no, I don't enjoy the main mission, and I enjoy collecting like all the orbs and just running around and like fucking shit up. But with Saints Row, I prefer the main mission, but I hate doing all the side quests in Saints Row. They just irritate me. And I don't, as far as I remember, I don't think Crackdown was ever like that highly rated. It was, don't get me wrong, I think it's probably like an 8 point something, whatever. But it's not like Game of the Year material.
It's got a cult following, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's not mainstream, but it is a AAA studio, I guess you can call it. But I mean,
it's a AA game at most.
Yeah.
Sure, it's one of Xbox's, first party flagship, if you can call it, titles.
But, one of a few.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not on the level of Halo. It's not on the level of Gears of War or anything like that.
No.
It's kind of like what can you compare it to on PlayStation? I'm drawing a blank, but it's one of those games where it's okay. It'll probably make profit and stuff,
right?
But it won't be our Christmas game because obviously people they tend to bring out their big games, November time, don't they? Christmas time, whatever. So yeah, it's one of those games. It's the game that comes out summer or Easter or beginning of the year or something. So,
they'll make that game come out when there's nothing else coming out, because if there's anything else halfway good, like, they will get buried.
Yeah, well, point an example is Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, everyone's going to be avoiding releasing their game in October. So,
well, I mean, that's when, like, doesn't Fallout come out like in October or November or something like that? 76? Doesn't that come out
November? I want to say November.
Okay.
I want to say November. Because they always bring out like their main game for the year in November, don't they? Bethesda.
Yeah.
I think the beta might start in October. Or is that in September?
The controversial beta release.
Well, yeah, we haven't got that as well to talk about. But yeah, so Crackdown 3 pretty much done. Not gold yet, but polishing off and all of that stuff. So keep an eye out for that. Yes, so this is probably one for you as well, because it's Mass Effect related, or kind of related. BioWare are still working on Mass Effect and Dragon Age alongside Anthem at the same time. In what way, I have no idea.
Wow, that's news to me. Like, I can't even.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that means they're. Well, obviously they're just generalizing. The last Dragon Age obviously was received really well.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I think that was Game of the Year, because I want to say that The Witcher 3 came out too late to be in Game of the Year hunting for that year, wasn't it? I think it came out too late.
Mm-hmm.
I think it won the previous years. But yeah, so the last one did well, so it makes sense for them to carry on with Dragon Age. Mass Effect obviously wasn't as well received. Seen as a bit of a rushed job. So yeah, it's interesting to see that they're still working on it. I mean, like I said, it could mean anything though. It could be a Mass Effect trilogy remake or something, or it doesn't specifically say on the article. But it'd be interesting to see what they do, or what they are planning on doing with Mass Effect. I mean, I don't know whether the whole reason why Mass Effect, as you can see, kind of failed. But I personally would have liked them to carry on with Shepard. Even if they did something like, where they cryogenically made him go to sleep or something, and then he woke up 1,000 years later, or whatever it is in Andromeda. But I think having that kind of character to relate to, it's kind of a familiar face, especially when it's their first game that was being released in the franchise on a new console. It would have. I can understand that. Like, it's a new console, new Mass Effect, right, from scratch. But I think it would have helped kind of if they had a familiar face to go along with it. What do you reckon to this anyway?
What, on the Mass Effect?
Yeah, well, both Mass Effect and Dragon Age, and the fact that they're working.
I never actually played Dragon Age. I keep on wanting to buy it when it's on sale, and I just never do it. Mass Effect.
Have you played any of the Dragon Age games?
No, I haven't.
No, okay.
I haven't. So, like, I know of them, and I heard they're really good, and I keep on every single time they're on sale, I always want to buy them, and I just never do. Yeah. I don't know why.
First one is really good. It's like really. I personally, I think I prefer the first one. The second one is a bit more arcadey. It wasn't as well received.
I heard they're not open world though. I think that was a reason that I always kind of steered away from them, just because I heard they're like kind of like stage based in a way. Like I think I was expecting like open world. I was expecting that, but I heard it was more of like a
it's not like Skyrim. It's more like Fable. So you got like general paths that you follow. Right. It's kind of like a semi-open world. So you got a map and you choose to go to a certain place. So if you go to a city, it's like a big city though. So you go to it and obviously you go and wander around this whole city. And there's like areas in the map where it's an open place in the map. You go to it, but it's kind of, it's got like edges to it. It's like they put mountains there to stop you from obviously going around and stuff. So it's not stages, so to speak, but it's more Fable, like the style of Fable is where their areas and you go to that area. And
it almost sounds like Monster Hunter World.
I didn't end up playing that, but from my past experience of playing Monster Hunter, yeah. So like, there's
great game, by the way. If you ever see that on sale, pick it up. It's a great game.
I think I kind of missed. I mean, obviously there's still going to be a player base for it, but I think like all my friends won't be playing it anymore, and I'd rather something like that. I'd like to play with friends because I have past experiences of Monster Hunter, and I know it's quite a hard game.
It's hard. There are situations where it's hard to solo, but I mean, if you're strong enough, you can solo. It's just some grinding involved to get your gear up to a certain level. But I mean, if you get strong enough, you can do just about anything by yourself. It has a great crafting, armor setting, where you can switch your armor pieces around. Like, it's got a lot of cool features to it.
Yeah,
it's just. You got to have the time, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that obviously if I pick it up now, like 6 months after it's been out, I mean, like I said, none of my friends are still going to be playing it, and that kind of stuff. And I'm just going to feel like how I did when I first started playing Destiny. I played it, maybe I think it was the year before Destiny 2 came out. So like none of my friends were playing it at all. At that point, right. So like I was basically just playing it because I managed to get all the DLC with it because I got the like the kind of game of the year edition, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, but it'll be interesting to see what, like you said, what the BioWare are doing with Mass Effect in what way, and I think it would make sense for them to make a trilogy set. Kind of get like say, look, we're not forgetting about Mass Effect. There will be a new one. It's just for the time being. Here's what you love. Here's all 3 Mass Effects, all remastered or whatever you want to call it, remade or whatever.
I just wish they would have fixed Andromeda. I mean, because for the most part, like there's a decent core game there. It's just it needed fixing and.
I mean, I'm guessing they will on a timescale because obviously not that long after Andromeda came out, they announced obviously Anthem, didn't they? So
I still stand by this, and I'm going to say it until the day it comes out. People better be careful with Andromeda or Anthem, man. I think people are going to be really disappointed in that game. I don't see know.
I mean, when is it supposed? Is it supposed to come out next year, or is it the year after?
I don't. You know what? That's another game that's going to keep getting pushed back and pushed back. I don't even know what it's. I have no idea what is coming out now.
I don't know. To be fair, I mean, BioWare, as far back as I can remember, they've been fairly good with like releasing their games. I can't remember a game that they pushed back. Not off the top of my head, anyway. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what was. Andromeda wasn't ever pushed back, or at least not publicly pushed back, was it?
What?
Andromeda.
I don't know if it was. I don't know. That's been so long now since Andromeda. Like, I don't know if it was pushed back or not. Right. I can't remember.
But yes, I mean they're fairly reliable on release dates anyway for their games. So, but maybe that's one of the reasons why obviously Andromeda was messed up, because maybe they had a release date and they had to stick to it because EA told them so. So, right, so let's get on to the Fallout news.
Fallout 76, son!
Yeah, it's not news, but it's relating to the beta. So Fallout 76 beta will be the full game, and your progress will carry on over to when the game launches later in the year.
That's why people are so mad about this beta. Okay, now I get it.
So, beta arrives in October. Here you go. It arrives in October. And then obviously the game will be released in November. Because I think it's the first 2 weeks before, or the 2 weeks before the release, the beta is?
Well, see, here's what I heard. I heard that they're doing a closed beta.
Right.
And the way that they're selecting people is random.
Okay.
And if you're telling me that your progress through the beta will carry over to the real game, that makes sense because people are saying like, well, then people will have further progress in the game than other people, even though they're paying for the access to the beta. And the way that they're doing it is random, and like it's just a lot of people are pissed. Like even Pete Hines had to come out and like make a comment about it. And, like, he went back. He, like, made, like, one comment about it. Then he had to go back on it and make it another one. And, like, people got pissed. And, like, it's this whole thing. So, I don't even know if pre-orders are up yet.
Well, here we go. Fallout 76 will be released on November the 14th. So, it's 2 weeks into November. So, I'm guessing...
Great. I know exactly when to take off of work then.
Yeah. We know when to not get Jeff on the podcast. So yeah, I mean, I try to stay away from. I mean, the only betas that I tend to take part in will be the Football Manager one because you pre-order if you pre-order the game, they release the game to pre-orderers 2 weeks beforehand,
right?
And then you get access to it for 2 weeks to get the basic things. Everyone mocks Football Manager because they think, oh, it's just a spreadsheet game or anything, but the amount of like, it's because it's your own story in the game, isn't it? Kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like
I can't wait to get into that early access beta for Farming Simulator.
Well, it's weird though because it's like how do I explain? Like how I play Football Manager is I play a journeyman save. So okay. I start with no coaching badges or anything. I start unemployed, and you have to like go and find like the shittest of teams. So, like a team in like, no offense, but a team in like Northern Ireland and stuff like that, like really bad teams, and you kind of got to like make your career out of it, and it takes like 10 years to get to anywhere decent and stuff like that in games. So,
oh my God,
it's just one of those weird games. Like there's a great documentary. I forgot what it's called. There's this comedian who does a documentary about his experience playing Football Manager, and it's really funny, but it hits home with every single point that he says on it, and it's even if you don't like Football Manager, it's really funny, but it's a good watch. I'll have to find it out for you in a minute, what it's called. But if you've ever thinking, well, I don't get what's so entertaining about Football Manager kind of thing, it is basically the whole story. Like especially if you stay with one club your entire career on the game. What's even more unrealistic, you can stay till like you're 200 years old, so it makes zero sense sometimes. But yeah, it's just one of those you kind of like build relationships up with like players, and then like the player will stab you in the back and say that they want to move to a bigger club and everything. It's like you bastard. But yeah, it's one of those weird games. But it's weird. It's like it's like when people like for us, it's weird seeing. People play like you said, like Farming Simulator and stuff like that. But then again, I think like I also play like Euro Truck Simulator, which is just weird for other people to understand. I drive a truck around Europe and that's it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
There's some games out there I just don't get, and that's one.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. You have no idea how big the following for Euro Truck Simulator is.
Oh my God.
If you go on Steam, you want to show you what the numbers are for Steam.
I believe it. I've seen them.
Like they're crazy. Like I think it's got what is the rating for it? Oh look,
probably a fucking 100.
It's an overwhelmingly positive review on Steam with 100,000 reviews for it.
Oh What is life? What is life, dude?
Yeah, but I mean, if a game about driving a truck, I mean, it's got a 79 on Metacritic, so it can't be that bad. With he also won the PC Gamer Game of the Year Awards 2012. So don't knock it until you tried it. But yes, as far as Fallout 76, so the beta will be October. You're saying it's randomly selected?
Yeah. Well, the closed beta leading up to the beta. Right. It's going to be randomly selected, and then they're going to slowly bring more and more people on.
Right.
So I don't know how random that selection is going to be.
So if you pre-order it, you're still guaranteed to get into the beta, correct?
At some point, yes, you are guaranteed.
Right.
Yes, yeah. But if you're saying that your progress carries over from the beta to the live version, then you're giving people an unfair advantage because they're getting to play more in the beta, so they can get further along than other people.
Right. But then again, I mean, they've never made a game like this before. Though. I mean, obviously they've got ESO, but it's kind of a different kettle of fish to what Fallout 76 is. I mean, they even admitted in their E3 press conference like it's something they've never tried before. So I mean, there is going to be and you said Pete Hines said one thing and.
Dude,
one thing and
they can't say they never tried an MMO before, because even if it's ZeniMax that's putting out ESO, they still work together. So I mean, it's not like they're going into uncharted territory. I mean, like they have experience with ESO.
Oh, I don't mean like the game features. I mean like the whole like beta thing.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. The way they're approaching the whole beta thing, like you say, like doing the whole. Random, like a select random few to begin with, and then slowly adding people to it. Yeah, that is a bit weird.
Look, I just want to play the game. I don't care if I get in when I get in. I just want to play. I just want to see what happens. I think this might be the multiplayer experience that I'm looking for, that I kind of wanted with No Man's Sky. Depending on how big the server size is. I like the idea, and I hope they don't skimp out on features.
Well, didn't they say how big the amount of players can be in like one instance at a time?
I think they said up to 32.
Right. Okay. So it's not a massive amount considering the size of the map.
Oh, dude, it's bigger than 4.
Well, yeah, but it's 4 times bigger than Fallout 4. But I mean, 32 players in an area that big. It's obviously it's not, you know what I mean, it's not like it's inundated with players, is it? It's quite a closed, smaller group of players for the size of the map.
Oh, it's better than 4-player co-op in a world where there's 18 quintillion planets. I mean,
I know. It's yeah, but then again, you know, it's pretty much an infinite place, though, isn't it? It's infinite space,
right?
To some extent. Whereas obviously they've created this map from the ground up.
I'm ultra excited for Fallout. I'm hoping that I can get my computer up and running so I can get a capture card and stream. That's my goal. I have a goal right now, and that's to get a new computer ready to go so I can stream from my PlayStation on the capture card on Twitch or YouTube or whatever, because I really want to hit Fallout 76 hard when it comes out.
You can stream from your PlayStation, can't you?
Yeah, I can, but the quality's not that good. And,
okay.
I mean, I have a webcam now, so I could incorporate that into the stream, I guess. Mm-hmm. So, like, there's just a bunch of things I could just add to it. It's just really hard for me to stream on my PlayStation. Yeah. It's just not ideal, let's put it that way.
No, I get that. I mean, I've got a capture card.
And if I stream to Twitch, I want to have a capture card so I can use my content instead of having to pay to use my content, like how Twitch does it with the premium accounts and shit. Like, if you stream to Twitch without having a capture card, they don't let you save that information. Like, you have to pay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that a new feature?
No, it's been like that for a long time. That's why when I stream on my PlayStation, I always go to YouTube because it gets uploaded right to your account. On Twitch, if you don't have like a premium Twitch account, you can't say you can't reuse that video, so it belongs to them, or it's not or it just disappears or whatever. So the people, when they stream to Twitch, the way that they do that is either they have to pay to get that account, or they use a capture card and they save the gameplay to their computer and then upload it to YouTube and shit. So
interesting. Okay, so this is another one for Jeff, because I know how much he bums Tomb Raider now these days. IGN has a exclusive, the first 15 minutes of Shadow of the Tomb Raider, available in 4K, so you can go watch that in all its 4K.
Dude, I can't wait. I was watching just today, before you even told me about any of this, I was actually watching one of the trailers for the game over and over today at work when I just had it playing. Like, I'm so excited for this game because I love the first two of them, and I just love it. Like, this is my Uncharted. How Uncharted has like a story-driven thing or whatever, and it continues on from Uncharted, the game to game. Like, this is my Uncharted. Like, I love the character of Lara Croft. I love the story of her. I played Tomb Raider when I was a kid on the other PlayStation 1, or I don't know even what it was, 1 or 2 or whatever. I love that story, and these new ones that they come out with are really good. And I'm so excited to see how this next one follows the second one and kind of like wraps it up, man. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's next month too. Yeah.
Fun fact. So obviously they have a Lara Croft model, don't they? Or at least they used to do in the older games. So they used to have every couple of years it would hire a new model who would be like the real life representation of Lara Croft.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever they go to shows and stuff. One of the models from Lara Croft went to my school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, completely random fact, but yeah, she was. I think she was 2 or 3 years older than me. But yeah, she was at my school, and she was. I think as soon as she left, I think when she was 16 or something, she got hired to be Lara Croft.
Wow.
Yeah, I think she was Lara Croft for 2 or 3 years as well. But yeah, I think also many would also say about the whole Uncharted thing, Tomb Raider is what it is today because of Uncharted. As soon as Uncharted came out, years ago,
you can make the fact that Tomb Raider came out way before Uncharted, so maybe Uncharted.
Yeah, but Tomb Raider was pretty pants, especially towards the end of its previous generation. I mean, obviously, the first 2 or 3 games were really good, but then obviously they added all was it Tomb Raider Revelations and stuff like that.
Right. I mean, there was a couple bad ones.
Yeah. I mean, I think Uncharted is probably the biggest thing on that genre on PlayStation now. But I think with the introduction of Uncharted, it kind of took Tomb Raider aside and was you're done. And then Tomb Raider's come back and proved that they can be just as good as the Uncharted games, if not better.
I just like this Lara Croft. You know what? I just appreciate strong female characters, lead characters. I don't think there's enough of that in gaming.
Oh yeah, sure.
And I just think she's a strong female character, and I appreciate that. And just her in general, I like her attitude. I like just how the story arc of how you can tell in the first new Tomb Raider. Was it Rise? Or is it just it was
just the Tomb Raider one.
Yeah. You could tell how she's learned and progressed her skills over that first one to the second one, and they even say in this one you could tell that she's learned from those first 2 previous games, and now she's fine-tuned everything. She's a Tomb Raider.
More story-driven.
Yeah,
previously was.
I'm so excited to play it, man. I'm really excited. So
I just always think about. I think it was Tomb Raider 2. I always just think back, and I can't believe how much it used to scare me. I don't like jumpy things, and I remember there's a bit in Tomb Raider 2 where you're walking down. I think it's in the Amazon or something. You're walking down, and you got those 2D the 2D bushes on either side of this path.
Mm-hmm.
So like you literally walk through them, and it's just literally like a flat image of a bush. And on either side, there's obviously these pathways on either side of these bushes behind them, and you could hear the tigers growling and stuff, and they used to just jump out at you, and it used to crack me up every time I got to that bit, because I having to try and walk down there, and because as far as back as I remember, because obviously it's third person, you used to be really up close to the back of Lara, like, and obviously back in those days where the graphics are not that great, it takes up a lot of the space of the screen, and it just used to not frighten the shit out of me, but just be like, I hate these jumpy bits.
I'm looking for the shit from IGN right now, and I can only find the first 15-minute episode from IGN in IGN España, so it's in Spanish.
Oh, I will send you the link for you now.
Awesome.
So yeah, guys, if you are wanting to check that out, make sure you do check out everything we talked about. I pretty much just quickly went on to IGN and just found a load of things that were relevant to us and would have been interesting to talk about. I'm not an IGN bummer. It's just that it's one place where everything tends to be.
Can you send me that? On a DM over Twitter?
Oh, okay, I'll just send it through Skype. But yeah, God, picky.
Well, no. Actually, no. I have Skype on my phone, so don't worry about it. I can just get it through there. I'm good.
Okay, I'll send it to you on Twitter as well. Just get it wherever you want to get it from.
Alright, yeah, we're at like an hour here.
So thank you guys for listening. Make sure on Friday to check out the first episode of the Early Access show. It's not a long episode, trust me. It's 4 minutes long. It's 4 minutes of your time. Just check it out. Leave me some feedback, because it's like I said, it's very near and dear to my heart. I've put a lot of effort into it, and I'm nervous about it, but yeah, I like to hear what you guys think about it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Jeff, for joining me tonight.
Dude, it's an absolute pleasure, man.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and from us to you, we shall see you next time.